talk about is images. So we have HTML tag, we talk about HTML closing, head, body, and body closing. Is that okay? But we said make sure that you are using indent so that it is easy for you to read when you're reading your page. Yeah. In a head tag, we talked about title, and what we talked about was this. In paragraph, closed paragraph, P and closed P. And I did say, just close that. We went to take the lorem ipsum paragraphs. Just to show you one thing, when you are working in Notepad++, I'm gonna just pick up one paragraph and maybe here, and then second paragraph. Now when you actually picked up the paragraph, your paragraph was going as one line throughout, right? Just go to view and say word wrap, and it'll stick to the page size basically. You don't have to press enter or anything or break, nothing. The paragraph just stays like that, right? So now let's say I want to put an image here. Let's put img tag and source equals, let's say cake.jpg. Is that okay? And I'm going to save this file in 2nd May. Call it as cakes.htm. I say run, and I go to run Chrome. Yeah. Now obviously this image is not showing up. The image is not showing up because the image is not in the folder where I've just saved the file, right? But you see a small picture showing that there is an image. Is that right? Now there is a property for img tag to avoid such situations like this. Now I don't know why the image is not there, but what is this image? I'm writing down this property and I'll tell you what does this mean.
Even if it doesn't, yes, it shows the text.
I've just written down that here, and if I go back on my page and show you that page, you will see, can you see that information here?
Yeah.
Now alt is a message, alt is a property of img tag which says alternative text. If for whatever reasons the image is not showing up, that text will show up. Is that okay? Now this is also for the people who are visually impaired. If they have switched off, in browser you can switch off showing images. So if somebody switches off seeing images, they'll still see that message. Is that okay? So alt is a property of a img tag, and it is compulsory to write down alt in websites. It's compulsory. It's a compulsory property to use. Is that okay? Yeah.
But when we put the cake, we should do the alt to put singular chocolate cake with cherry.
No, this is usually alt is a message. So if I just say chocolate cake, usually alt needs to describe that image, because does that make sense? The reason for that is people are gonna read this. So if you just say chocolate cake, what kind of a chocolate cake it is? So I'm just trying to add a bit more description to it. It's a circular and it's topped up with this. I could say fresh cream circular chocolate cake with cherries or whatever I want to write. The whole idea is that your alt describes the image nicely.
Still
With the picture. Now, I happen have the picture right now. I'm going to put a picture. Look, I'm going to, this one. No, this one is not cherries. This one is fine. This is strawberries. Oh, like that. Chocolate cake with, get the right, okay. I mean, I just searched the picture which I am looking for. Save image as, and I'm gonna put it in the folder I am working on right now, level 1, and I'm gonna call it escape. Yeah, save. Now if I look at the picture we were at,
But why the text is not there anymore?
because the image is there. The text will only show up when the image is not there, right? But some browsers will show you that text if you bring your mouse on top as a screen tip, right? Like right now my mouse is on it. The text will come up if I, let me go to Firefox. Come on. No, even this is not showing up, but no, we will, but then some browsers pick up alt as title. Some of them, not all of them, right? Let's try IE. It does, but there is one more difference I want to show in IE. That's why I've brought up the image. Sorry. Yeah. Does that make sense? This is what will happen. Alt will only come when the image is not showing up, right? But otherwise you will have the original image. But on some browser like IE or Safari as well, I'm not 100% sure, it comes up as soon as you put the mouse on top of the image, right? But there is another property to get that tooltip. To get, if you want your the message to come up when the mouse goes on the picture, you want to write something, there's another property for that, that is called title. It's a property called as title. I mean, you can write down whatever message you want to write down. And then if you have, show you this. So title tag gives you that message. Is that right? Title property within your IMG tag gives you that. We do both. We do both. In real websites, we do both. Okay. Why? Remember that for search engine, we'll come back to that. It's an opportunity for me as a website designer, and it is one of the features for search engine optimization that we use title and alt for our images. How? I'll explain that. Can you look at this page, right? And let me do this. I was looking for this word. Can I find that word here? I'm searching for something, right?
Yes, you can find that one there.
I can't. Computer can't find that word chocolate here. Can it? On this page, it can't. Is that right? But let me do this. View page source. Is that okay? And now I do should I've spelled it wrong here. Can you can find out words? Is that right? Now search engine looks at your page like this, isn't it? So, and page ranking goes up. How many times is that keyword being found written down on your page? Is that right? So these are the best places to write them down without misusing it. Without misusing the keywords. But if those keywords are important for your page, you actually put them here, because where the word was going to be found once or twice in a paragraph, it will be found 4 times on a page, or maybe more than that times, because you've written it down in alt and title. Is that okay? So we have, because search engine can't see images, search engine can only see the text, and that's how it sees it. Yeah. So we have, what we are saying is that whatever picture you put in, you put alt property, you put title property. Is that right? Is that okay? Yeah. Another property which is very important, which is called as width. Yeah. Now width can be written down as pixels, as a percentage. I can write down image size in terms of pixels and in terms of a percentage, right? Now, but then let's say I'm saying here 200 pixels. Is that okay? Yeah. Should I put height? Or it is automatically done the height? Has the height reduced automatically? Is that right? Okay. If I do here, let's say I'm just doing this and showing you this, right? Has the height done automatically? Do you understand? You do not write down both of them together. You do not write down height and width together. You should only use one, because it is aspect ratio. How much width you increase, computer will do the height. If you do the height, computer will do the width. Do you understand? Without distorting the picture. Computer would calculate that without distorting the picture. You should only use width and height yourself if you are 100% sure this is what I want. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you never use both of them together. You only use either width or height, because the second will automatically be calculated by the computer. Is that okay? Do you understand that? You want to write? You want me to write it down?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the title property. Width. I'll give you another example, and don't use them together until yeah. Sorry. No. It's not a preference, or width, whatever you, because sometimes you will be able to see that this is in your design. Sometimes width will be important, but this is the width. I don't want the image to be bigger than that, right? Height can vary. Is that okay? And certain places you will say I want this much height, and the width can vary. So based on your design, yeah. So until you are sure, as computer calculates, or I think the word I should say is maintains aspect ratio, which means if you change height, it changes the width. If you change the width, it changes the height, to maintain the matching the right. You only write them height and width together, usually to smaller in size anyways. Does that make sense? You cannot write down height and width higher than the original size in the first place, because the picture would look pixelated. but if you're dropping it also, but you just don't want picture to look squashed, or that's why we don't suggest that using together. Is that okay? So when we talk about pictures a bit more, we will talk about one more day about pictures in more length, types of images, which one should put in, why should we not put in. Like, this is not a good choice of the image to go on the website in the first place. This picture is not good for the website. We'll talk about this. That's what I'm saying. We'll talk about which picture should go, should not go. This picture has got a lot of color, which might not go with your website color. It's got a pink background. Does it make sense? So if your page is all brown, suddenly this pink will not go with the whole website. So we'll talk about the color combinations and yes. So that's what I'm saying. When we go to design, we'll start talking about whether this image is the right for the website or not. So we'll come down to that later. Yeah.
So you are doing computer design, are you a web designer, are you a web developer? That's the problem. People can be a web designer and not be a web developer.
Web developer is a big front-end developer or a back-end developer.
Because this week I was watching a YouTube about when I was lost, and the guy said, as a web developer is not a web designer.
Yeah, usually you need to start your cycle from a web designer, isn't it? So we'll come down to that differentiation as well. Like who is a web designer, who is a front-end developer, and who is a back-end developer. I mean, there are so many terms which have come up in the compute website market now that you should know what are you targeting in 6 months time. You know, where do you want to, because that's where. But let's talk about this and then we'll talk about aspects and what role can you actually go in. Yeah. Graphic designer as well. All graphic designers are going for web designers these days. So we'll come down the terms as well. Yeah. But that's fine. So that's the two properties, alt, title, and then width or height. We use either of them, right? Yeah.
As you said, the painting wasn't good. As you create the website, can you change within the website the color you want? So you have to change the photo first.
You have to get the right photo first. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go back on the image. Here, my image is my image in the paragraph at the moment. Is my image within the paragraph or it's outside the paragraph?
Outside.
Outside the paragraph, right? I'm just gonna do one thing. I'm gonna move this image inside the paragraph. Is that okay? Yeah? I've moved my picture inside the paragraph. Is that okay? And I'm gonna save and I'm gonna bring up this. It is inside the P now, but what is the difference? Can you see the word? The second paragraph starts from here. Earlier it was starting from the next line because it was outside the paragraph. Now my paragraph starts here, right? But it should start here then. Why is it starting here? Is that right? Yeah? Now, why? Because by default, HTML is considering this image as one character, one letter. And that just letter happens to be very big. So it is taking that space. Is that okay? It is not giving you that space because it thinks that image which you put up is one character and that character is big. Is that okay? Now to tell computer, no, I want to use this as an object. It is an image, leave it alone, right? I need to use another property in my img tag, otherwise this will just stay like this. So I need to go in my img tag and I need to write down a property called as align left. Yeah. Now when as soon as I say left or right, you are saying this is a picture, this is an object. So let me use the space next to it. Yeah. So here and here, has the text gone up? And it'll go up on all the browsers. Where is Google Chrome? Did I have this before? Is that okay? So the text is gone next to that, the picture is gone towards the left and the right space is available to right, right? You can move this picture on the right and the left space will be available to right.
So is that basically the magazine now?
Oh, no, 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 we will be talking about 3 columns, 4 columns in a once we start styling, but you still need to understand this concept that the picture or the object, the concept will come down as an object. We need to make sure that everything is an object rather than just a text. No, 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 there's no order. You write down that in any order. Does that make sense? The properties in tag can go in any order. You can write down title whenever you want. I mean, whichever place, alt whichever place, height and width whatever place. Is that okay?